The back of this new electric SUV, the IONIQ 7, it looks insanely weird. I don't know why though, but I like it. Everyone knows I've, on numerous occasions, criticised the batteries that are used by Hyundai and Kia. But guys, I think they make really good EVs. In spite of that question there, the new Hyundai IONIQ 7, I've got to say it looks amazing. It's basically a twin in the skin to the Kia EV9. Big electric SUV. And whoever's designing their vehicles, they're doing a brilliant job. Well, most of the time anyway. Hello my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Hyundai's IONIQ 7 has been seen testing. We now know what it looks like. This is their 3-row large electric SUV, nearly as big as a Toyota Land Cruiser. This is a big vehicle. You know, you can fit your family in there, bikes in the back. We used to say, well, if you need a big vehicle, you can't get an EV. That's all changing. There are a lot of big EVs like this actually in China now. So that could change. It might not just be the Koreans. I think some of the Chinese brands, including BYD, will bring out big EVs like this pretty soon. The EV9, the Kia EV9, is already on sale. I just made a video about that, and I did see it myself. I got to sit inside it at the motor show in Melbourne when I was able to give a speech to you guys. Sorry to some of you who weren't able to see that. That was a bit of a debacle in the end, unfortunately. But anyhow, the Kia EV9, I'm a big fan of it. I think it's a really nice vehicle, and yeah, I would spruik that car. If they want to give me one to test or to own, yeah, I know that's not going to happen, but to test, I would be willing to do it. Anyway, this was actually seen testing in, of all places, Germany. I mean, I'm surprised to hear that. Apparently, it will be on sale around the middle of next year. So the IONIQ 7 will have some competitors by then, including the Volvo EX90, the BMW iX, the Kia EV9, and there are a few other Chinese vehicles as well. But to be honest, Kia and Hyundai, their sales have been pretty terrible in China. So they're not really worried about China. They're really going after the European market, the North American car market as well. The Kia EV9 and Hyundai IONIQ 7 are both 3-row, 7-seat electric SUVs that have the same powertrain and the same platforms. Obviously, the style is quite different. Which one do you prefer? I mean, I personally think this looks better. I think the IONIQ 7 looks better than the EV9. If you bought an EV9 though, hey, they both look good to me. I think in some ways the EV9 is better, in some ways the IONIQ 7 is better. Some of the concept's flamboyant features from the auto show, though they didn't reach production. They're very normal for Japanese car brands to do that. For example, the Subaru WRX STI, they've brought out, I don't know, 20 different concepts at the auto shows. Never made any of them look anything like them. Generally though, Chinese automakers don't do that. They usually release exactly what the concept is, which is really cool. I like the fact that they do that. But unfortunately, some of these really cool design features that the IONIQ 7 had in its pre-production form haven't been kept. Those include rear opening back doors and no pillar to create a living room effect. Those unfortunately haven't seen production. We can see here though that the vehicle has some so-called tough black plastic trim. I don't mind that kind of trim. I don't think it's very tough, but I think it looks good. It also has body color surfacing, a version of the show car's horizontal LED light bar, and vertically stacked LED headlights. And overall, it's a pretty well-designed large vehicle. It's hard to design a large vehicle and make it look good. Give you some context on pricing. The EV9 is actually very affordable in its base version. The base version costs $55,000 US. In Australia, the base version is around $70,000 US, around 95,000 Australian dollars. So it's a bit more expensive, slightly more expensive to buy this vehicle in Australia than it is in America. But I wouldn't buy the base version. I think it doesn't have enough range. That's my opinion. The higher spec, the mid-spec version, that's where I see the value. So that'll be for this version as well. That has more range. That has just over 500 kilometers of range. So around just over 300 miles of range. And I think it's a real sweet spot for this car. Power. Like I said, base version, not real keen on the base version. Power, I think in a car this size is not enough. It's got 160 kilowatt, that's 215 horsepower. That's for a single rear drive motor. Mid-spec model gets the dual motor version And of course, it has a fair bit more power as a result. 380 horsepower, which is 283 kilowatt. That's more than enough power. It's got nearly 700 newton meters of torque. Plenty of power and torque for that mid-spec model and that high-spec model. They're still a bit more expensive though. I do think there will be some Chinese competitors come out, which will pretty well force Kia and Hyundai to probably reduce their prices a bit. You may not agree with that, but that has happened when Tesla's reduced prices. Hyundai and Kia have followed Tesla's lead. They often say, no, we're not going to do that, and then they inevitably do. So there's a good chance that the Chinese competitors, such as BYD, will probably bring out some similar EVs in European markets and Southeast Asian markets, and they will force some downwards price pressure. This is the other good news, right? Hyundai plan on making these in the United States. It won't be next year. I believe it'll be the following year. But that'll mean that it will eventually qualify for EV incentives in the US, meaning it'll be a bit cheaper. Here's what Hyundai said. We do not plan to dramatically reduce EV production or our lineup due to likely near-term hurdles, as we believe EV sales will grow long-term, said Sao Gang Hyun, an executive VP last month. So basically Hyundai and Kia, they're going to stick to the plan. Little noise, little events, little changes in the market, they believe are temporary. The long-term goal is large-scale EV growth, and they're going to support that growth. I think that's a good plan. What are your thoughts? Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.